Well, it's been a rough couple of weeks. The truth of the matter is that the hate and the discord are present and have been present for a long time, and we act as though we're surprised when violence comes. But in fact, it's no surprise. And sometimes it takes two. It takes those who purposefully do things to incite, and it takes those who play their part to respond to the inciting influences. I believe in free speech, but sometimes free speech is utilized to incite, and then I'm not so sure whether it's free. It comes with often a high price. If it had been a Jewish face on the front of that satirical paper, you know, with all the stereotypes of the European Jew, I don't think it would have helped anything either. In France, a great number of people were killed because they were perceived as making fun of the Prophet Muhammad. In France, others were killed not actually for doing anything, but for being Jewish. I've stopped calling that anti-Semitism, and I've started calling it anti-Jewish. Because anti-Semitism for me is like too academic, and it's about people. And frankly, it's about me. So the question is, what do we do? In the Netherlands, when they did studies of bullying, contrary to what we tend to do in this country, what we tend to do is we focus either on the bully or the one bully. In the Netherlands study, they focused on the bystanders. And they realized that those were the people who had the power. And those were the people whose silence allowed the bullying to proceed. I remember I spent a terrible year in the 9th grade as one of the only Jews in a country school, and I regularly got beat up. And I remember looking up sometimes from the floor and seeing some of my friends looking on and being paralyzed. They were the ones who had the power. After 9/11, many of us surrounded the mosques in this city and in other cities across the country to make sure that no violence came to them. Not the police, not the National Guard, us. The millions of people who marched and said, we're not afraid. Well, stand around the people who are afraid. And I think ultimately that's what we all have to do. We have to seek out those voices within our own communities that live in fear, that live on the streets, that live in poverty, that live in hunger. And we have to be there and speak for those who have such difficulty speaking for themselves.